Um, Maybe if you can just start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, my name's
and if this is your first Sleepout.
my name's John Slagsmith, and this is my first CEO sleepover.
And what inspired you to get involved, to come along?
St Vincent's has such a wonderful brand as an organisation, and I think the brand of the CEO Sleepout's been growing, year on year in a rate of knots. It's one of those events that I think you're just naturally drawn to, because the company, the organisation, St Vincent's, Vinnie's, gives you both the perceived and also real impression, real feeling that they're making a difference out in the community. So how can you not support them?
Great. What do you know about homelessness in Australia today?
Very little. We heard earlier this evening they talked about 105,000 people who are homeless today within Australia, and I may get this number wrong, but 38,000 of those are here within New South Wales, and a great majority of those under the age of 35. So in an affluent, the lucky country, society like we're here in Australia, to have those sorts of numbers is quite unbelievable. So it's underlined to me tonight, my knowledge of homelessness is nowhere near what it should be, and probably I'm a reflection of society.
And why do you think that is? As you say, it's, there's homelessness in many ways is an invisible subject. And it's only nights like this that you see a lot of people who are quite engaged with community and the world who are only starting to learn about it. Why do you think homelessness is invisible?
It's a really good question. Look at when the information age, between the news services, online, social media, we are more connected today than we ever have been. But for homelessness and those statistics not to be commonplace, in conversations, the way people are, thinking about the underlying problems of society, really is quite surprising, extremely surprising. And I just don't think that there is enough ongoing work around raising the awareness of people in all walks of life. And that underlines probably why events like this and organisations like Vinnie's are so important.
And so rather than just the perception of homelessness, what about the actual cause? Why do you think there's an epidemic? Why is homelessness growing in a place like Australia?
Yeah, not having any background or experience like what those that deal with it on a daily basis, I can only surmise that social breakdown in families or problems that come from really early childhood that doesn't give people a sense of purpose or opportunities in life. And I would imagine that things could spiral from one point to the next point very quickly, and people just not knowing where to go, who to turn to, and where the support base could be. And again, I think because of St Vincent's, and if we're raising the profile of it, if we're talking more about it, and one thing, men in particular, all of us guys, we aren't good about talking about things. And I sometimes think that being able to share and be more expressive with people. Because I think in society we have a very community-based approach to look after different people and each other. And but you can see I'm struggling for answers. I'm not really sure.
No, it's okay. What about, so next year is the 10th anniversary, and for Vinnie's it's going to be a big one. Is there anyone that you personally, or just from a media social point of view, that you'd like to see get involved, to take that challenge, and who would you like to join the Sleepout next year?
Oh, where do I start? You think about your own circle of either professional or personal contacts, and you're here in this wonderful environment, here in Sydney. I couldn't just name one person. There'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 people that you could think about to be able to tell your own story about the experience here tonight that should be with us in the 10th year anniversary. So I think the question is not just one person, and I don't think it's anybody of senior position in either business life or society, I think many hands make light work, and that's what I think we should be aiming for next year. It's just a wonderful event because it's got a great feel of it.
No, great. Who are you representing tonight? Sorry,
Harvey Norman.
Harvey Norman. So, for companies like Harvey Norman and other businesses, the opportunity of tonight is to start to open up the relationship of what businesses can actually do with organisations like Vinnie's. What role do you think they can play?
We're a great example. We're in every state and territory across Australia, and in most of the all capital cities, regional centres, and lots of country towns around Australia. Businesses like ours, we feel very strongly about the fact that we've got an active role to play within the community where we're doing business. So I think the role of Harvey Norman, or really any business, in that yes, we may buy and sell, or there may be services, or there's an interaction between us and our customers and the local people. But I think that we've got a genuine responsibility just to be active members of the communities that we're in. And that may be supporting the local sporting clubs, it may be doing things with Rotary, it may be doing things with organisations like St Vincent's, etc. And you can't be everything to everybody day in, day out, but gee, there's an enormous amount you can do. And I think a positive attitude and a proactive approach, and it leads to great things.
Is there a message that you have for Australia in general about homelessness, about this evening, about what you've already learned?
They talk about Australia being the lucky country, and if you spend any real time in different countries around the world, which I've done from time to time, and you come back home here to Australia, whether the cities or the country, you really do realise just what a wonderful standard of living that the average Australian has. So to have this problem, homelessness, is one that is very fixable. And it's fixable not just the responsibility of the federal or state governments, but all of us, all Australians. And I think that more events like this, and more people that are proactively and positively involved, we can genuinely make a difference.
Within that space of recognising, that it is more than just the governments, do you feel like there's obviously a question when we've got on both sides of politics, one of the main focuses is economy. Where does that leave the space of, helping the disadvantaged?
Federal or state governments approach the economy, and look at all of the media attention that the most recent federal budget has caused, we must never lose sight of those that are disadvantaged within society and ensure that there's appropriate funding and appropriate support going towards that. Because that's what's going to keep this country great going forward in the future. And whether they be the young, whether they be the elderly, whether they be the disadvantaged, and specifically here together tonight about the homelessness, we've got to attack that with good thought, good conviction, the right funding models, and to improve that ongoing.
It's great to talk with you. Thanks, John.
Thanks very much.